Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean Andrew, back with another review. This time we'll be talking about the show Lost Girl. We're talking about episodes 1 and 2. It'll be It's a Fae World, and where there's a will, there's a Fae. Now, as for the first episode, the opening, pretty basic. We learned about a girl named Bo, and she finds out that she's a Fae. And within the Fae clan, or within the Fae world, she's also a succubus. Now, she runs into a girl named Kinsey, who's a pickpocketer. And after trying to talk and kind of getting a chance to know each other, Bo ends up getting captured by Hale and Dyson, who seem to be kind of like part of the policing world when dealing with the Fae. And the two major clans in that area, they realize they're in a dilemma, that they can't have this Fae running around town because they'll be considered a laughingstock because they're not able to control their own people. So they decide to do what they used to do in ancient days to determine on who would go where, is to put them into a test. This test deals with surviving a battle between this one guy who's like this Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan dress up dude, big muscles. She's able to take him down. The second guy, he's some type of, I forgot what they call him, but he deals with the mind, and he almost like virtually sticks his fingernails into her skull, and it makes her think that she's out in the woods, she's in a calm and peaceful place, but to get her to fully relieve her pain, he needs her to drink this potion. Well, meanwhile, Kinsey tracked down the the license plate number on the van that took Bo, got her brother to end up getting information, ends up at the warehouse, and is screaming out, Bo, it's a trap, Bo, don't fall for it, wake up, blah, blah, blah. And this seems to do the trick. Bo snaps out of it, defeats the guy, and then she yells out, she's not going to be a part of any clan. She's going to do things her way, and her and Kinsey end up going off and leaving. Now, for an opening episode, it was pretty predictable. I was expecting a bit more information, though, but if you've seen the previous two seasons that are actually based in Canada, you already had a basic idea. They don't stray too far from it. She's also bisexual, and they play on that a lot, which I know is going to help to get a lot of viewers. And so, for a starting point, it was okay. But I really wanted to wait to do the second episode as well because I just felt like the first one I could have kind of saw coming. So now we'll talk about episode 2, which seems to set the theme for what's going to happen with the rest of the episodes, where in this case we have a woodland fae by the name of Will, who shows up seeking help from Bo because somebody has stolen his gems. In return, he's actually going to give her information after learning she has a particular mark on her body that he remembers a little baby having when he was in the woods. He also gives her a bag that I think belonged to the person who was taking his jewels. She finds a gun in there, and in there, she ends up using that to ask for help from Dyson and Hale to get the registration information. She goes to the guy's house. There's a shotgun attached to the door. This ends up going off and causing the neighbor to show up. The lady comes over with the shotgun herself. Apparently, most trailer parks seem to people have shotguns. And she gets her to calm down by touching her face, and then she starts to kiss her using her succubus powers. And since Mackenzie was there, she kind of stopped her halfway through. And they checked her pulse and realized she was still alive. But later on, we learned she's almost seemed like she was in an awake but comatose state. It was really strange. Either way, she ends up locating where the guy is in a hotel room, and she starts to talk to him, and he admits, Will is actually my father. And because in the Fae world, unless both parents are Fae, the child ends up just coming out human. And he says he's willing to give the gems back if they can just meet. That's all he's looking for, is to have a chance to meet his father. But as they're talking and setting everything up to get ready to meet, they end up bumping into a Doulahan, which is some type of guy that can take off his head. It's supposed to strike more fear into the person when they fight, and apparently is considered as unstoppable. Well, Bo's able to take him out. He asks Dyson, kick him out. She ends up going to meet Dyson again, asking for more help. And she goes to see Laura, the doctor, to try to get more information about controlling her succubus powers. And that's still kind of up in the air as for right now. Later on, towards the end, we come to find out it's all a trap, that the guy actually wants to expose the Fae World because he's actually angry at his father for not being there. Another one of the creatures show back up. There's a whole nother fight scene, but in this case, Kenzie's actually the one who's on top because she actually threw the head of the creature into the fire, killing it this way. And what Will ends up telling her is that, that it was a Fae midwife, and that it wasn't actually her parents, and that all that the Fae midwife said was that someone's out there trying to hurt you. And that was practically the most amount of information that we got this time about her past. She goes on, gets healed up, and she ends up making out with Dyson that helps her to heal up from her wounds. That's the end of the episode, and I'm gonna have to check in another 2 or 3 more episodes to see how I feel. Overall, it's really nice, but I can be kind of picky about my sci-fi stuff, which I try not to be. But this is just going to take a little bit more convincing to see if this is going to be a show I'm going to continue watching. It has a basic premise. It is very nice. Again, I did hear great reviews about the Canada version. So we're going to see how things play out. Right now, it just seems very generic. I'm very much used to this setup, and unless something really spectacular happens, unless the storyline kind of kicks up a couple of notches and it doesn't become this episode by episode setup where, oh, now you got to find this and you run across this creature. Now you got to find this and you run across this creature, because that's going to get really boring very quickly. So that's my review. My name is Sean Andrew with the TV Show Review, and this has been of Lost Girl, actually episodes 1 and 2. Please feel free to leave your comments down below, and you take care. See ya.